This song is getting dumb.
He's just so good.
Like I
continually do it.
immediately regret suggesting doing this as an intro.
It's so good, though.
It's not good.
All right, this is Nerd Thug
It's
Radio.
as good as all of Will Smith's other raps. I agree.
This is Corey DLG. That's Zach Attack, who just said the worst thing he's ever said in his
You're
whole
the one who
life.
said it was good.
And then Nico
I simply
DLG.
agreed.
Token millennial here.
Right.
I simply agreed. I said it's as good as all of Will Smith's other raps.
I feel like you're trying to be derogatory.
I'm not.
Okay,
I'm
all right.
Will Smith, greatest rapper alive.
If you
He
think
is.
it's
He is the-
derogatory, then you think either Will Smith's other raps aren't good or you think this isn't good.
I feel like you think you're taking a dig, but what you're doing is digging your own grave.
Fair enough.
That's right.
Digging
That's
my
right.
own grave.
And on that note, let me tell you about my friends, 2920 Collision Center. I actually was recently in a car accident, and these are the guys who fixed my car. They did a bang-up job, and I mean that in a nice way. They professional, thorough. The car was amazingly clean. They do a great job detailing it. They work with all insurances. They have a 24-hour roadside assistance number. It's 832-364-5177. 832-364-5177. 2920 Collision Center. If you've been in an accident, these are the people you want to take your car to and have them work on it. 2920 Collision Center. 832-364-5177. This is, of course, Nerd Thug Radio. You are going to catch us on 104.5 and 106.1, the sister stations, worldwide at irlonestar.com. And, of course, the most important thing, you are listening to the weekly top 3. This week, we are doing kind of a wrap-up here. We're doing our favorite projects that were either announced or that happened this year in the year of 2017. As always, worst is first. It's usually a freestyle, but I'm carrying everything this week. You know, like the load is heavy.
So he says.
The load is heavy.
So he says.
Yeah.
So Nico, help us out here. What is your numero trace?
Mine is going to be Monster Hunter World. I've never really played that much Monster Hunter.
Okay, wait a minute.
Okay.
Do you know what this is?
It's a video game.
Okay.
And it's for the Switch, if I'm right.
No, it's for the PlayStation 4.
Is it for all of it, or is it?
I think it's just PlayStation 4.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Go on.
essentially, it's like an open world.
It's like it's not really open world. So there's like a township you go to, and then you literally it's as the title describes. You are a monster hunter, and you hunt monsters, and then you make things out of the monsters to hunt bigger monsters.
I'm an enormous fan of things that are called what they are.
Right, like it keeps it real simple. Like, why are you doing this game? Well, you hunt monsters.
Please stop asking me questions about video games.
Right. Well, the Streets of Rage. What, is it just about driving? No, it was a side-scrolling action-adventure game.
where you beat people up in the streets.
Right.
What does side-scrolling mean?
Yeah, literally from left to right. It just scrolled.
Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
I think we should replace side-scrolling with Zack-esque. It was a Zack-esque game in which you beat people up. See, doesn't that just sound better? I was gonna say roll off the tongue, but ironically, I don't like the way roll off the tongue
Rolls off the tongue. Yeah, it feels weird. It doesn't. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Roll off
Anyway,
the tongue.
tell us about Monster Hunter.
Well, you hunt
you
monsters.
dork.
You hunt monsters in it, and the only reason I'm really excited about it is it's the first.
Because you're a nerd.
It's the
Right.
first Monster Hunter
Yes.
on like a console, because all the other ones have been on like handhelds, and it's really annoying. Because it's a game you put hours and hours into, because you hunt bigger and bigger things until you're fighting like these.
But only up to this big, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
But they're real small, and it's really annoying.
Because the handheld had a 2-inch screen.
Right.
So no matter how big the monster was, it was always 2 inches.
Right. How do you?
Right.
Yeah. How do you know the monsters get bigger and bigger if they were only available on handheld?
Because your player character got smaller and smaller.
I'm shrinking, so they're getting big.
Oh, so it was forced perception, or
Right,
it was
yeah.
actual size change. Okay.
Man.
All right.
So I was really excited about it. The trailers are really nice. I'm playing the beta this weekend.
Ooh.
Today's the last day for it.
Oh.
When's it released?
It releases January 26th.
Oh. So you're
2018.
so you're
Yeah.
a beta tester.
Yeah, I'm cool.
That is cool.
It's
actually.
public.
he
It's not that
signs
cool.
up for stuff.
That is pretty cool.
We've turned him into a joiner. When Nico started with us here at Nerd Thug Radio, he was in his little turtle shell, full in, no limbs out. You had to just call into the shell and he would do stuff for you.
Okay.
Now he's a joiner. Now he does things. He joins betas. He plays things.
He's crossing that early adopter threshold.
Right?
That's good.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He's gonna get a puppy soon. I bet.
No.
Whoa.
Too much work.
Oh, he immediately shut
Yeah.
that
He
down.
was
He's
like,
like,
no.
I'm not having another living thing rely on me.
God no.
All right. So
It's the same reason I've never gotten a fish.
what's it called? Monster Hunter 3D?
Nah, it's just called Monster Hunter World.
It's not even 3D.
Well,
No.
I mean, that was the one on the 3DS. Whoa.
Is it Zack-esque?
No.
No.
Oh, so 360.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, how do you cope with that? Because you don't know enough about video games to properly categorize them. So when they're not totally open world, but in a world, like, do you even know the difference?
No.
Okay.
I haven't played a video game that was me standing in the game more than 5 minutes ever.
Right.
You know what I mean by me
Yeah.
standing in the game? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone else doesn't, but I do. Yeah. Where you're saying, like, where you're the main character and whatever you want to do, you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew exactly what you meant. Yeah.
I need a map and I need check boxes when I finish things. No, I'm not interested.
This needs to be solved.
I'm not interested in being the person. I don't like me enough to be the person in a video game too.
That's fair. That's a self-esteem issue, but that's fair. All right, so
I know-
you're
I
number
know who
3.
I am.
You're number 3.
I was really, really excited this year about, and I haven't watched it yet because of my policy and also because I don't own this network, but American Gods, the TV show,
Oh, okay.
the adaptation. One of my favorite books ever by Neil Gaiman. It's just phenomenal. It's a great story. It's written really well because everything Neil Gaiman writes is written really well.
Right.
And I've heard nothing but good things about the TV show. It's picked up for season 2. It's on Stars.
Yes, it is. Now, it was only one book, right?
Correct.
So it's like one novel that tells
Correct.
the story.
Correct. But from what I understand, the season 1 doesn't even make it halfway through the novel.
No, it
I
doesn't.
don't
It's
think.
really like I think when I told you what happened, you said that's like a third of the way.
Yeah,
in.
but what I think they're doing is throughout the
they're
book.
taking their time. Is what they're
Well,
doing.
and throughout the book, there are like these inter chapters where it's telling the story of these different gods, but they're set in modern times.
Right.
So I think they're devoting whole episodes to that on the show.
They have.
I think they're introducing some of the, and I'm not crazy about this term, but let's call them villains earlier on, so that they're getting more build up and stuff than they were. And they were built up and developed really well in the books. I just think they're being introduced earlier to kind of carry the season along in the show,
Yeah.
from what I've seen.
Yeah, well, and it was
Because like some of the stuff in the trailers, and I can recognize because I've read the book enough times.
Right.
Some of the characters I see even in the trailers, I'm like, oh, that's a way later in the book character that's introduced, but they're bringing him in earlier. So
yeah, and it was a really short season,
yeah,
and they definitely took their time. 6 to 8 episodes. I don't remember exactly
yeah.
now. Off the top of my
That's
head.
what I think it was 8, but I don't know for sure.
But they definitely spent a lot of time talking about characters and introducing certain characters, and then they did a lot of, like, you met him in modern times, and then they go back in the next episode and spend 30 minutes telling you his origins,
Right.
And then they, so they did a lot of stuff
and,
like that.
Well, and Neil Gaiman's books are really, really well done that way. He does a lot of character development, like a lot of deep character development, with not only like explaining the character's backstory, but how it fits into a larger picture.
Right.
So I feel like it lends itself well to a TV show that's spread out over a few seasons, even though it's only one book.
Right.
So I'm counting it for 2017 because it's something I'm looking forward to doing. In fact, because I'm off work next week, I'm probably going to download the Stars app, for the free Stars app, for the 7-day trial and watch it to catch up on season 1.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's good stuff.
So my number 3, my top 3 are in no particular order because these are just all different things I was excited about at different times. So kind of weird to categorize them. But my number 3 is the 3rd season of Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Oh man,
Did you guys miss that?
that's not on my list either.
No, it's not on mine.
Yeah. So the 3rd season of Rick and Morty, the buildup was what, 18 months? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a while.
after they shot Mr. Poopy Pants, and then he's like, hey, we'll see you in like a year or 2. I was like, no, surely not. But then pretty close to that, 18 months.
Yeah.
No, it's I when they said see you in like a year and a half, I was it's about right.
Year and a half, maybe more.
Well,
Yeah.
their process is crazy. We talked about it a million times here. They do a lot of improv work while animating, so I can only imagine the
It
back
takes a
and
long
forth.
time to get a story done.
Yeah. But great season. Definitely
Yeah.
not a letdown by any stretch at all.
Yeah.
Um,
And we talked about it on the Thanksgiving show. Like Nico and I, like both of us thought it was just a phenomenal season.
no, it was.
That it was great. It had some of the best high points in the entire series and
Yeah,
some of the
absolutely.
worst too.
And they're doing a lot of character development too now. Like they've kind of started to take
yeah.
themselves a little seriously while still having a ton of fun and doing
Yeah.
these crazy things.
Yeah.
And they kind of
Yeah, that is a really great one. Especially after seeing when they dubbed the Georgia trial, which
Yeah,
also
oh my
was
gosh.
this year, right?
yes,
That was also great.
Solid.
This was just a good year for Rick and Morty.
it was.
That was a phenomenal thing they did.
This is a kangaroo court.
Right. Oh my god, so funny.
That whole bit between the judge and the guy,
Right.
like the judge clearly loses his mind. in it.
Right.
But yeah, that was good too.
yeah, that's a good call on Rick and Morty.
Yeah, so Rick and Morty season 3, the comeback.
Yeah.
That was good. Also, Oni Press is going to be doing a Vindicator spinoff. They're actually the ones printing the Rick and Morty comic book. and they're going to do a
Vindicators.
Vindicators.
That's awesome.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Shout out to Oni Press.
Yeah. Shout out to
Yeah.
Oni Press. So Nico,
Scott Pilgrim. Yeah.
number 2.
Oh, number 2, Dragon Ball Z Fighters.
What is that?
Dragon Ball Z is a very popular anime series.
No. What is
The
what is
game?
the thing? It's a game.
Yeah, it's a fighting game in the universe of Dragon Ball Z. But the main benefit is it's a Marvel vs. Capcom style. Choose like team of 3, and then you can tag out between your team members.
Man, I love Marvel v. Capcom.
I do too.
That was a great video game.
There's Infinite came out this year as well, but it's not on my list because they released it in a really poor state, and they've updated it well. So
Oh, really? They
Yeah.
kind of fixed it in the updates?
Yeah.
I
I
you know
swear
what,
to God,
man?
I thought he meant really poor, like
Like
U.S. state. I was like, why would they do that? Why would they release this video game only in one state?
Arkansas, you can
It was
have
like
it.
Arkansas, you've got it. Louisiana, you're in Marvel v. Capcom Infinite.
Woo!
So tell us about the Dragon Ball Z game.
So it's really exciting. It's by a company called Axis, and they make phenomenal games.
What are some other Axis games?
There are a lot of fighting games. They did Guilty Gear,
Oh,
and
okay.
they did
Alright,
Blaze
okay.
Blue, which is an anime fighter.
Ooh.
But the reason it's super exciting is because the visuals are just incredible.
Yeah, I have seen some of the screenshots, and at first I actually thought it was a cartoon.
Right. Yeah. So it's the way it's based is it's a 3D model. The characters are all 3D models, but they're like animated like 2D. So it'll do like stretches and like slides, and it's real smooth.
Yeah, it looks.
It's incredible.
It's like it's almost like enhanced cell shading. Remember when cell shading was like the big fad in video games?
Yeah, no.
And so for a minute-
cell shading's amazing.
I hate cell shading. Everything looks like a stupid cartoon, and it's like I didn't want to play a
Right.
cartoon. I wanted to play a video game. Cell shading's an animation style, and anyway, in it, essentially things can look more drawn.
They look like they're hand drawn.
Right.
Essentially.
They're
But
essentially taking advantage of the fact that they can animate images, and they've now stylized animation by putting in effects.
Oh, I like that.
Right, and so cell shading just makes it look like a 3D thing is actually 2D and moving.
Ooh.
It just kind of has a neat. It's a neat effect in principle, but then when they like make whole video games in that style, you're like, ugh.
Is there
But
a-
it fits
what's
Dragon
a-
Ball Z
what's
really
an
well.
example of this?
They came out with this Spider-Man Venom video game, and it was exclusively cell shaded. And
So there's that.
I think it was like called
really-
Ultimate Spider-Man.
A really prominent one was Legend of Zelda: Wind Waker on the GameCube.
Yeah. But anyway, when you see it, you just identify. You can if you see two games that are both cell shaded, you immediately will see the style, and you'll be like, "Oh, I get it."
But it also differs on the game because there's
Right.
there's games that really heavily use it, like a game called Beautiful Joe. That's like it's stylized like a comic book,
Right.
So it uses it very aggressively. But there's also games that are like, oh, we don't kind of like the look of this style, so we're just gonna kind of do it, but not
like
really.
hints of cell shading.
All right.
Yeah. But no, I actually have seen some of the screenshots for this new Dragon Ball game, the Dragon Ball Z Fighter game. The only thing that's weird about that to me is they had come out with a really superior fighter game a couple of years back.
This is the first. This is the first 1v1 fighter that Dragon Ball Z has ever gotten, or has gotten in at least the past 20 years.
Right, the last one, it wasn't. I guess it wasn't a fighter. You're right. It was like it had like
Oh, you're talking about Xenoverse?
Yeah.
Xenoverse 2 that just came out. Well, yeah, it's kind of like an open world, create your own character, but this is just like you pick your characters from the anime, and then you get into the arena, and then you duke it out.
right. Yeah, Xenoverse was kind of like a story, but you still end up fighting all the main.
You
characters.
fought people, but it's not the same. Like
But the cool thing about that one though was like it was a 3D world.
Right,
You kind of
yeah.
travel.
Right.
And you could travel around and punch people through buildings. Like, can you do that on this?
no, because it's just like a one stage. It's kind of like a Street Fighter esque.
Yeah.
I
See,
do
that's,
like Street Fighter.
that's a little bit of a letdown. Because the whole point of the Dragon Ball stuff is they blow up whole places.
Right. I mean, you still get giant beams and.
Do we have enough time for Zach to get his number 2 or no?
No.
All right. We get out of here when we come back because Zach's going to do his number 2.
I love to weigh in on video games.
Okay. Nerds Like Radio. We'll be right back.